honestly, the most important question of this whole video, what are my dogs' names? I recently hit 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. All thanks to you guys, for real. I am so thankful and love you guys all for your support. Like, there has been an overwhelming amount of support in the bookish community, and I could not be more thankful. So thank you. I love it here. I did put a question box on my Bookstagram as well as a community post here on YouTube, so I did get a handful of questions. I'm gonna start with the bookish questions first. Anything relating books, recommendations, getting started into Booktube, all of that fun stuff. And then at the end, I'll do some more like personal questions. What made me decide to start a Booktube channel? I don't even remember, and I don't know. Once I had gotten the itch to read again, I binge read a few series in a row, and I was like, I don't have anyone to talk about these with. It was at the end of 2020, and I was like, who can I talk to about books? So I started my Bookstagram, and from there, I was just posting. There was like, my Bookstagram is pretty faceless. Like, I don't post me on there at all. That got me into, I was like, well, I actually want to like speak about them, even if I don't really know how to articulate. Like, if you go way back to my first few videos, I feel like I've come such a long way, like just with speaking about books and recommending books in a better way than I did back then. I started it mostly just because I wanted to talk about books, and I had no like friends really in the book community. Now I've made a lot of friends in the book community, so I'm very grateful. The only person I really had to talk to about it was my mom. Love you, Mom. But like, I wanted some more people to talk to about books. It wasn't really planned. Like, I did not really plan anything. I just posted, and then I was consistent, and I've been consistent for a few years now. So that's why I started a Booktube, and I love it. I'm happy that I started when I did. It was right before like Book Talk and everything really took off, and it was perfect timing, and I couldn't be more happy with starting a Booktube channel. So if you're trying to do it or you want to do it yourself, I recommend doing it. It's such a fun community. Everyone is so polite. Everyone's so nice, so friendly. Love it. Books or series first got you into reading? You guys probably already know. I don't even want to say, but let's start from the very beginning. I was the typical Percy Jackson, Twilight, elementary, middle school. I did not read very much at all. I really started picking up like Percy Jackson and Twilight because they were popular. People were reading them at the time. My friends were reading them, so I was like, sure, I guess I'll read these books. Loved them, but it didn't like get me into reading, and I didn't continue reading from there. The only other reading I did after like middle school was required reading in high school. But at the end of high school, this is when it really like picked up for me. I read Harry Potter for the first time, and I was like, wow. Like, I loved the Harry Potter movies growing up. They were amazing. But the second I read those books, I was like, this is a completely different feeling than I've ever had towards a book series. So why don't I read more? And that was my senior year of high school. From there, I was going to college, so I didn't really pick up anything for a few, maybe years besides like required reading for classes. But my junior year of college, my mom, she recommended Discovery of Witches to me by Deborah Harkness. That one, I was like, oh my god, this gave me the same feeling that Harry Potter did a few years ago, but it has a little bit more romance. Like, this is really great. I'm a new adult, like I'm growing up into this like romance kind of feel, and then I was like, Mom, what else can I read? She recommended Dark Fever by Karen Marie Moning, and that is like a 12 book series. Binge read that in like 3 weeks. Like, I was all in. It's actually, oh, the shelf is kind of messy, but whatever. I know this is a lot, but it makes sense in a second. Then after that, I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. And from there, I was like, these series have got me in a chokehold. Like, all of these romance fantasy series, I cannot put down. So then I picked up Throne of Glass, and it just kind of carried on from there. I actually started my Booktube channel after reading Throne of Glass. High school to like college area, that's kind of when I really started picking up, but those main 4 series were the 4 that really just like jump-started my reading journey. What genres or authors are you interested in reading but haven't gotten to yet? I feel like this is such a like broad question. Like, that's so hard to answer because I want to dip my toes into so many other genres and authors. Specifically, like right off the top of my head, Stephen King. Like, I really, really want to get into his books, get more into like the thriller horror side of books, and that's a genre that I'm terrified of. There's just so many popular authors in that like genre that I don't know where to start. If you have any recommendations, I would love them down below because I kind of want to dip my toes into it, but I'm also a scaredy cat, so maybe start with something slow, give me a rec of something that I can like dip my toes into horror maybe, and then I'll go from there, and then we'll see. But I really want to read more mystery thriller. Anne Bishop is a fantasy author. I own a series from Anne Bishop. I think it's called Daughter of the Blood. There's 3 books in that one, I'm pretty sure. I really want to read that. I want to read her, Stephen King. I'm trying to like off the top of my head. Yeah, that's what I'll say for now. But like, I'm gonna stick to the fiction side of Booktube community. I'm not really gonna do nonfiction yet, which leads me into the next question. Would you ever read nonfiction? And I never say never. I will never say that I won't do something. Like eventually, yes, I probably will read some nonfiction. Am I interested in it right now? Heck no. Like no, I don't wanna even think or touch nonfiction right now. I'm so into my fantasy, romance, mystery thriller kind of stuff right now. Like there's no way I want to touch nonfiction, but like here and there, totally. Maybe I'll pick up one later this year and I don't even know about it. Like I'm not against nonfiction. How do I pick the books that I read each month? There's a few different, like in my head, there's an organization system, okay? I have my TBR, but I also have my Kindle that I can like Kindle Unlimited, any books that pop up on there, new releases coming out. Like there's categories in my head and I kind of think about like, okay, what videos do I want to come out? Like I'm very big on mood reading. So I love TBR videos and I love watching TBR videos, but they're very hard for me because I don't really stick to a strict TBR. I kind of just pick up what I'm feeling in the moment. If I know there's a new release coming out and I really want to read it, I'll read that. There's no way I could write out like 8 books and stick to it. Like I would erase the whole list and just start over. So I definitely pick based on my mood. I kind of have like a general idea. I do read a lot of like what's popular now. That's why I kind of want to like branch out a little bit. Come July, August, and September, there's not a lot of new releases coming out in those months. So I'll probably do like Stephen King or Anne Bishop and kind of dip my toes into new authors. It works for me. It works so well for me. If I don't go based off my mood, it puts me in a slump. What is your reading goal for 2024? 2021, 2022, 2023 were all like 100 books. I was like, I'm gonna read 100 or more books. Great, I did a good job, whatever. I purposely wanted to take this year slower and do more intentional reading. So I set my goal for 80 books. I think I'll surpass it, but I don't think I'll get to 100 books, which I'm okay with. I kind of like having that slower goal, and if I reach it and if I go past it, that's great. I think I'm on book 40. I think I just got halfway through and it's the end of May. How many hours or pages do you read in a day? Brock and I are morning people. Actually, that's a lie. I hate the morning, but I don't like sleeping in. Does that make sense? Like I don't want to wake up. That's what it is. I hate waking up, but once I'm up, I'm up. Brock wakes up at like 4. I wake up at like 4:35, 5:30. Depends on how many times I hit snooze, but we read for like an hour, hour and a half in the morning. I probably read like 2 to 3 hours combined the rest of the day. Pages, I don't know how many pages I specifically read in a day. I would say I read between, depending on the book and the size of the text and everything, I probably read 40 to 70 pages in an hour. I know that's a wide range, but it really depends on the book. Maybe that would be a fun video because I don't know. Okay, now let's get into some like more of the fun bookish questions. These are like more recommendations and everything, which I want to start with my favorite question that I think I've ever been asked before. If you could create a new couple which consists of characters from different books, who would you pair together? And I think it's because right now I'm reading Manacled. I'm having a fantastic time. It's so sad and depressing and I freaking love it. It's so dark and angsty, but Draco, because he's so mysterious, so good at hiding his thoughts and hiding his true feelings. He's wearing a mask all the time. He is hiding, like he is just incredible. He's also kind of a dick, but I think he's very mischievous, mysterious, and he's a really, really messed up character mentally, but he is wanting to be good and to be loved, and there's no one to do that for him. I would pair him with our girl Aylin. Because listen, okay, could you imagine the banter and the wittiness and the scheming? I mean, the two of them together, it would be so scary. They also kind of probably would look like siblings. His dark twistiness, and he might be a villain technically and like playing for the bad side, but you can tell that he wants to be good, and Aylin is good. She wants to be like the hero in every situation, but secretly so does he. I would love to see them together. They would also bite each other's heads off. It would be out of this world. Like I want to see them argue and then make up, you know? Top recommendations for buddy reading with a friend. If you want to get more deep personal conversations with your friends, I feel like Frederick Bachman, Beartown, and A Man Called Ove are such good conversation starters, and it's very, you're talking to your friends and you're like, do you agree with this character? Or do you agree with this character? And like, how do you feel about this person and their morals and values? And there's a lot more deeper conversations you could have with Frederick Bachman books. What Kindle do you have, and can I see the stickers on there? I have the 2023 Paperwhite. I absolutely love it. I also have one of the clear cases with a pop socket on it. I do have some stickers. One of them is from Probably Smut, and then some are from friends. Two of them are mine, the I'm reading and the little fire heart. Those stickers are both mine on my Fireheart embroidery website. Those are my stickers. I probably won't change them. I tried taking like the corner of one off and it did not work out well, so I'm just gonna keep them there. I love them. They're good there. They're good where they are. Favorite spicy book of all time and why? This is like such a hard question because I read a lot of spicy romance books. I don't know if there's one like all-time favorite because at the end of the day, spice is spice. It's pretty much, it's not all the same. I don't want to say that, but it's all very similar. And I think the end goal is the same. Like you just want that connection between the characters and the chemistry. So I would definitely say a recent one, The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. I thought the spice was so good. It went into some kinks and went over some topics that I really liked around. She did it in such a clean way. That one I read like a week ago, so it's really like in my mind right now. Probably Be the Right Move by Liz Tom Ford, her spice. Or All Roads Lead Here I really liked. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace was great. Oh my god, that's a favorite of all time. I can't do that. I can't answer that. I'm sorry. What is the last book that got me out of a slump? Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I had just read Done and Dusted and I did not like it. I gave it 2.5 stars. And before that, I had read One Dark Window, which I loved, but the plot was a little on the slow side. So because One Dark Window was slow, then I had a 2.5 star. Check and Mate was the one that kind of like brought me back up. I don't get in slumps for very long. I feel like I just, at that point, if I know I'm in a slump, I just have to pick a book that I know I'm gonna like, which usually falls in the romance or romantasy genre. So I just kind of, I get myself out of the slumps pretty easily, but I will have like a few days or like maybe 3 to 4 days per month where I'm like, I'm not loving what I'm reading right now. So now time to get into some personal questions. I'm not gonna open up a ton, but I think that some of the questions you guys asked were sweet, so I'm gonna do it. The most important question, honestly, the most important question of this whole video, what are my dogs' names? Dobie, he's the orange apricot cockapoo, and Honey, she's the black cockapoo. They are my whole light life world. Everything revolves around them. Like Brock and I are unhealthily obsessed with our dogs. We treat them like humans and we want a third one. But we picked Dobie, the name Dobie. My favorite song is Drift Away by Dobie Gray, and it's not Dobby. It's not based off Harry Potter. Everyone calls him Dobby. It's okay. His name is Dobie, D-O-B-I-E, and I think it's such a goofy, funny dog name. Like, I understand that it's also a people name, but for a dog, like, we call him Doughboy. We call, like, there's just so many good nicknames that can come from Dobie. I don't think we'll ever beat that name. And then Honey, we were supposed to get, like, a really light colored cockapoo, and we saw Honey. How did Brock and I meet? Brock and we met in 2017. He was about to be a senior. I was about to go to college. We met at our workplace. Technically, like, we worked out at the same gym, so we were both into like bodybuilding and working out frequently, and we saw each other often. I was working at that specific location and he worked out there, but he had actually worked at a different location of the same company, so I don't know if that made any sense. So we had something to like bond over right up front. Met in the gym and he came up and asked me for my number and I said yes. Show and explain your tattoos. So I only have 3. I have this little red M&M right here on my wrist. It was the first one that I got. I think I just turned 18. If you guys watched the movie What a Girl Wants with Amanda Bynes, the mom and the daughter in that book had this saying that they would say to each other.
I love you, a million Swedish fish.
I love you, a million red M&Ms.
My mom and I, we kind of picked it up and we write like on birthday cards, and that's like our saying together. I love you more than a million red M&Ms. So I have a red M&M. And then my Vine tattoo, I got, I think I was 18, 19, 20. I don't remember when I got it, but I just really liked there's a meaning. It goes, it's not that deep. So vines naturally like look out and seek light, and I feel like in every situation that's what I'm kind of looking for. I'm kind of like looking for the light in any situation or in a person, and I really like vines. So I got this guy. Oh, and I have this one. I just got this one. I'm just gonna put a picture up. It's too much to show. I have one on the back of my neck. It's a fire heart. There, I just got that one like a week ago, and there's a vlog coming out with me doing it. Okay, that is it for this video. I don't know how like interesting Q&As are, but 10K Q&A sounded really good, so I thought I would. So thank you if you participated and joined in. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I will see you guys in the next video. I think the next one is a reading vlog of a moody reading day. See you guys in the next video.